Hi everyone, I'm Noko O. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, subscribe by clicking the bottom right of the screen. It's free. Today we dedicate our entire practice to our feet. One thing that I've noticed when students start yoga for the first time, sometimes they may not be aware they have to be barefoot and they can be very uncomfortable to remove their socks. So let's clear this out of the way. We need our feet and we should be grateful for what we can do with them. We tend to neglect them. Today's the day when we respect them, nurture them, and try to relieve any maybe tightness, tension, discomfort. Personally, I like to be barefoot and I couldn't care less what my feet look like. So let's just be comfortable removing our socks, our shoes. You will need either a wall for your balance, maybe a chair. Some of you may prefer sitting on a chair at one point than on the floor. I will also be using my yoga mat. We may use some lotion for our feet and some objects to pick up with our toes. I'm going to use a pencil, paper, and then I have a card here that we'll also be using. You can use a quarter, you can use a strap, anything that's flat and small. Let's start standing up. We're going to start standing up and either close to a wall for balance, if you need balance later on, or your chair. Just looking down at your feet, having the big toes pointing front. And let's start with the eyes closed, sending gratitude to those feet. And noticing the contact between the bottom of your feet and the floor supporting them. Notice there's more pressure towards the back, front, outside edges or inside edges of your feet. And we all tend to put more weight on one side or the other. So let's try to even up and to put equal pressure on all four corners of the feet. I'm going to start with the eyes closed, shifting the weight forth and back, and keeping our awareness to the contact between our feet and the floor. And let's try to place even pressure between the front and the back of the feet. So the same thing side to side, shifting the weight right and left. Feeling the pressure moving from the outside to the inside of the feet. And then finding a position, a place. We have even pressure between the outside and the inside of the feet. Opening the eyes. Let's lift the toes. And let's really try to have the four corners of the feet anchored into the floor. So four corners, really those two in the front and two in the back. So toes lifted, spread apart, pressing down. And maybe right now it may feel a little bit awkward if you used to put more pressure on the outside or inside of your feet. Another way to figure out is to look underneath your shoes. You'll see the area that's more worn out. That's where you put more pressure. And everything comes from the ground up. So if you put more pressure on the outside or inside, it goes up to your knees. You may end up with knee problems and then it triggers up to the hips and back. So everything is connected. That's why it's very important to have the four corners of the feet really anchored down, even equal pressure all around. Let's start by some strengthening exercises. We're going to start by just pressing the front of the foot down, lifting the heel. So again, you can always have one arm against the wall. Make sure your arm is not reaching back or higher than your shoulder, just slightly lower. Pressing those toes down, pushing the foot forward. And both feet, knees remain extended. Now if you start working with balance, it's even better for your feet. You really strengthen it. Any exercise where you work on your balance is going to be beneficial. Moving on, so you can do this one about 3 sets of 15. There's something you can do while brushing your teeth, for example, doing the dishes, working the kitchen. Next one, we're going to start by bending both knees. Make sure they not get in contact, so we keep same space between the ankles and the knees. Again, you can hold on to your wall, lifting the heels, down, extend, bend, lift, down, extend. Couple more. Last one. Okay, adding on, bend the knees, lift the heels, coming up, down. Same thing with or without the wall. And reverse, lifting the heels first, bending the knees. As you walk slowly, you work more on your balance, so slower is better. Still a couple more. Last one. Good. We're going to stretch the ankles. So pointing the toes and pressing the toes down. If it's uncomfortable, don't go all the way. And down. Again. Now we're going to stretch the outside of the ankle. So what we do, put the foot on the other side of the foot, on the outside of the other foot, and press down. Can do the same thing behind. And front. So you target a different angle in your ankle. And back. Other side. And back. Again, front. And back. And from here, flex the foot, stretch the toes. Let's do one more. Good. Now, as we age, the arch of the foot tends to collapse. This can create discomfort again in the knees, in the hips, in the back. Or some people have flat feet, so let's do something about it. So the next exercise, this is where you're going to use either your quarter. I'm using a card here. We're going to work on the arch of the foot. And as I mentioned earlier, everything starts from the ground up. So if this collapses, it's going to affect your ankle, your knee, and it's going to go up your hips and your back. So everything is really connected. Purpose of the quarter, or it can be your strap or the card, is to keep the contact between this part of the foot here and the floor. And we're going to strengthen this arch by really squeezing, pressing our toes, a big toe and all the toes into the floor. As we do this, it's going to help strengthen the arch and lift the arch. So just observe the arch as I press. Now sometimes we want to arch everything, lift everything from off the floor. This has to remain on the floor. And just press. Notice the arch. Again, this is something you can do if you're watching TV, whenever you're standing, you can work on it. After a while, you start really feeling it. Do one more and hold it up, really pressing this part down into the ground. And from here, try to balance on the foot, challenging your balance, making movement for the rest of the body, twisting your torso side to side. Really engage this part of the foot. Working on the other side. So using this part of the foot, pressing into the floor with all the toes. And notice this part here, your arch lifting. So pressing toes, big toe, and relax. And press. Again. So maybe 3 rounds of 15 to start with. Let's do 2 more. Last one we hold. And then balancing on one foot, challenging your balance. Because we're strengthening a muscle, you need to repeat this at least 3 times a week, starting maybe with 15 repetitions, 3 sets of 15. The next exercise, again, we keep strengthening the foot. The next exercise, we're going to use our small objects. So we'll use objects of different sizes, different shapes, different weight. The bigger, obviously, the easier. And what you do, basically grab, lift, shake it. Once you're comfortable with the big one, start with the smaller one. And then pencil can be a little bit more challenging. Okay, we start drawing, writing with it, having fun with it. Then you can even start using objects that are a little bit heavier. So be patient with yourself. If you've never done it before, it's going to feel really awkward. So next one, you can do it on the floor. If you're more comfortable on a chair, you can also use a chair. And we're going to separate work independently with the feet. So pushing the heels, we're going to press the toes away from the big toe. And then big toe away from the small toes. Now find a position that's comfortable. You can lean back a little bit. You can do this sitting on a chair. Now don't spend all day long squeezing shoes. They're not used to work independently. If you ever feel a cramp under the sole of your feet, just massage it. Okay, let's do it a few more times. Pushing the heels, pushing the toes away. Hold it right there. And switch. And switch. Switch. And switch. So working feet and ankles, same thing on a chair or on the floor. Flexing the ankles, pushing the bottom of the feet down, keeping the toes curled back and pressing the toes down. Now keeping the feet down, lifting the toes and pushing the heels. Again, heels, feet and toes last. And arching the toes and pushing the heels back. Let's do it a bit smoother. Good. Just open the feet a bit wider. Same thing, we bring the toes back, pushing the heels forward. Open sideways, so I'm opening from the hips, actually pressing this down. And up, and down. Up, down. And hold it down. Bringing the toes towards the floor. So it's a lot of work for the arch here. And your feet may go right here initially, that's fine. Depending on the range of motion in your ankles. And for those of you who've taken ballet or dance or gymnastics, you may be able to go that far and then turning everything in. Big, huge circle. So notice toes, big toes facing one another. pull back towards you, out, pinky toes towards the floor, and again, very slowly. Let's reverse, big toes together, moving out. We keep pressing the feet down, turning out, keeping the pinky toes down as we flex the ankle, bringing everything up, heels back, toes forward, and again, big toes together. And center, alternating, pushing the heel, pressing the toes. And shaking your legs. Next one can be pretty intense. So only go as far as it's comfortable. When I mean by comfortable, you don't want to strain yourself, pull anything. You want to challenge yourself a bit, but without straining. So we're going to start by tucking those toes under. And I know for some people just doing this is very uncomfortable. So if this is the case, just bring your forearms down. Right, so you have not much weight onto your toes, and then you can push back a little bit. Now if you're able to do this, the next step would be to get onto your hands and really pushing the heels back. If you want to go even further, press your heels down, walk your hands back. Next step, hands on the thighs, we're still leaning slightly forward. Or you could be close to your wall. Actually, with the wall, you can even push. You want to go deep. And lastly, this is the most intense because you have all the weight of your body into your feet. So you're really stretching this part of the feet. And we're going to hold it there for about 30 seconds. At any point, if you have to release, just release for a couple breaths and come back. Just take a deep breath in. And exhale. Again, deep breath in. And exhale. 2 more. Last one. Slowly releasing and tapping the feet down. Now the other one is also intense for some of us. If you look back at your ankle, sometimes we're right here. That's our normal range of motion. If your ankles are a bit more flexible, maybe you're able to have less space between your ankle and the mat. So for me, this is a natural position, but a lot of people are right there. So if you're right there, this is a stretch already. Just hold it there. If you can try to press the top of your feet, the top of your ankle, go ahead. And if you want to go a bit deeper, one thing you can do is lift your knees off. So it's a stretch into the ankle, should not feel uncomfortable, should feel actually pretty good. So to me it feels good, you can go even higher. Now if it's uncomfortable and you force it, you're going to really hurt yourself. And relax. Let's stretch, we stretch the front of the ankle, let's stretch the back. So we're going to get onto our forearms. Tuck the right toes under, and from here just pushing the heel. If you want to go deeper, you can be onto your hands and really press out, even lift the other leg up and press the right heel towards the back wall. This is another stretch that should feel good. Every stretch, hold it for about 30 seconds. knees together. Let's start on our forearms. So first option, tucking the toes under, just pressing the heels from right there. Should feel the stretch into the heel, the ankle, the calf, or going a little bit deeper by really pressing the hands into the floor. By bringing this leg forward, I feel the stretch even deeper. And you actually may even feel it in your groin area. And release. So we're going to do some toe stretch and then we'll massage our feet. So this is one of the exercises that you can do sitting on your mat or on a chair. And what we're going to do is actually cross one foot over the other leg, and we're just going to place one finger between the big toe and the second toe, and one just between the pinky toe and the fourth toe. And you really want your ankle to be off your thigh. Use the other hand to grab your foot and make big circles. So we're stretching the toes apart. If it's uncomfortable on the floor, you can always sit on a block, sit on a pillow. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can actually place one finger between each toe. Spread those toes apart, which can be awkward at first, or you may just not be able to do it. So no forcing, and same thing, big circles. There are actually shoes that yogini wear. It's like flip-flops that spread your toes apart. If you walk with them for a while, it feels really good afterwards. So that's a really good exercise to do. Let's do it on the other side. Have your ankle hang here across your leg, and let's place just one finger, starting one finger between the pinky toe and the fourth toe, and one between the big toe and second toe, making big circles. Reverse. Option to keep doing it that way, or to spread all your toes. So let me try it. And here we go. Reverse. And release. So your feet should feel much better. So it's time for the massage. Any lotion or oil will do. Or even if you don't have anything, that's fine. So starting at the heel, index, middle finger, just making circles starting from the base of the ankle, going to the heel. And now going from the heel all the way up and down. Applying some pressure. Do the same thing on the other side. So starting at the base of the ankle Index middle fingers and moving around the heel. Circles, I like the circles underneath the heel as well. And then going from the center of the heel towards the toes. And back. Now using both toes, start from the heels, moving out. Circles or half circles. Option to go on top of the foot as well. And this concludes our session. Remember to share this video with your friends and family and join me again soon. I would love to have your feedback, how it feels, if it was helpful, what else you'd like to see. Hands to heart center. Send some more gratitude to those feet. Namaste.